you're not selling a commoditized product or service, is price really the lever that you want to pull to get new business? Hopefully not. Good morning, everybody. Today, Ruby and myself, well, mostly Ruby, but definitely me too, are talking about how price becomes such a crutch for a lot of companies to lean into as part of their sale. So if I can't sell it more cheaply, I'm not going to get a deal. I'll offer discounts. I'll do whatever I have to do to go out and get that money. But sometimes I'm giving away margin to go out and do that. And that's not ideal. Unless you truly are in a commoditized space where, the price is the leading indicator and you're doing RFPs and RFQs and price. Okay. You kind of have to play that game. But if you're not, if you're pretty much in anything else, why is price the leading thing that we lean into? So my struggle for a lot of companies is that they spend a little bit of time on their brand and they spend a little bit of time on creating demand for their business, but they don't use that as the tool and the lens to make it better for someone who is not as price sensitive to come in and buy. So I always listen to Seth Godin. He's a super smart guy. And his statement, and I'm very much summarizing, but his statement is, good enough is never good enough. So if you're in a commoditized market, the price will be the differentiator. Quality will not really matter. It is what it is. You're selling to the masses. Here we go. If you're pretty good, you live in that middle space where price is going to matter. You're really good, but you're not really great. These become issues for a lot of companies because then you're same. You're same as everybody else. So if it's more expensive and you're same as everybody else, why would even bother? Versus the folks that are top of the pops. So the ones that are the best at what they do. Quality. Price does not matter as much. It always matters, but not as much in that construct. So this is why the middle is so hard. If I'm the cheapest game in town and I can be cheaper, I'll do that. If I'm the most expensive thing in town for the same thing, there better be a really good reason for me to charge way more money, have people lined up. And so he uses the example of pizza. You could go to your local supermarket or grocery store and buy frozen pizza, and kind of is what it is. You could go to your local pizzeria and buy a pizza. That's pretty good. Nothing wrong with it. It's more expensive, but it's pretty good, and it's fine. Or you could go to one of these fancier, let's call it, more renowned places where there's a lineup. And it is not so cheap to buy that pizza. And yet people are lined up out the door. And why is that? And so in his estimation, that's not for everybody. And it's finding the people who care about the quality, who care about waiting in line, who want the incremental effort. The incremental effort matters to them. And so the same thing applies across industry, across vertical. If you are just doing it and you're phoning it in, or you're in a commoditized market and there you go, here it is, here's the pizza, then there's nothing wrong with this. This is how things work, because we play into this idea of the masses. So the masses drive what we're doing. So if it's not for everybody, how can it be for anybody? And so this becomes a very specific way, and Seth very much buys into this, is that it is whatever he does or whatever he's talking to any company about, it is not about everybody. It about is this specific group of people for whom you can have a ton of value, for whom the incremental effort it matters, it helps, supports, and then the price is the price, the wait time is the wait time. I'll do whatever you tell me to do because I know it's better, and I care about it being better. And so this becomes my thesis for today. Ruby agrees with me, very much so, that it's really about understanding where does that fit for you as a business. And if you are in a commoditized market, it is very hard to get out of that price model. If you are not cheaper than someone else, who cares? So what I would suggest is, are you looking at it through that lens? And if you are not in that market, and this takes time, this is not an overnight success scenario, but if you can define what that looks like for you and your market and where you are, and make a determination as to where we want to be, are we putting in that incremental effort? Are we getting up in the morning and doing things better, different, more deeply, with more quality? And what are we willing to do to go out and get that business? And are there enough people to feel the difference, know the difference, understand the difference? And so this is a very bold statement from his part, because it's really now about finding those people for whom it matters. The incremental effort matters. And now, this is not the first time I'm saying this in any way, good enough is never good enough. And being in the middle is really hard. If you are in the middle of any market, any area, it is really hard because there's so many others who are in the middle with you. The competition goes up. The metrics go down in terms of where, are we just meh? Are we good but not great? That's really where a lot of businesses operate. So for today, give that some thought. Is there a model, is there a world where you can take what you're doing that might be a little bit more commoditized, or we do exist in the middle? Can we go to that pole that is the other side of the model that says, hey, we're going to do the incremental effort. We're going to get up earlier. We're going to make it with better quality. We're going to do things differently. We're going to showcase things differently. And we're going to bring something that has an additional incremental value to our market. And that's something that we can buy into, and that's something that people will pay for. Don't know how many, but some people will pay for it. Not everybody, but some people. All right, enough for one weekend. Ruby says, have a great one. Walking and talking with Ruby.